everybody, welcome back to another video. In our today's video, we are going to do the notes explanation of a photograph poem which is written by Shirley Toulson. So it's a very beautiful, very affectionate poem which is very prettily written by Shirley Toulson. So Shirley Toulson has explained the beautiful epitome of life, alright? Okay, so the first paragraph starts with, the first paragraph is, the cardboard shows me how it was when the two girls went paddling, each one holding one of my mother's hand, and she, the big girl, some 12 years or so. So basically the first line, the cardboard shows me how it was. So the first line says, when the poet looks at the cardboard with the photograph of her mother and her cousin, she recalled the past memories of the mother when she went to the beach with her two cousins during her childhood. So who went to the beach? The poet's mother. Shirley Toulson's mother went to the beach when she was a child, alright, with her two cousins, Dolly and Betty, alright. Next line says, when the two girls cousins went paddling. This is the second line, and the second line is being denoted. The two cousin girls held on to the poet's mother's hand because she was the eldest one, and the two younger children experienced the sense of security while paddling with the sea. Alright, next, third, each of one of holding the mother hand. I have explained you this, and she, the big girl, 12 or so, I have explained you this here only. Now here in this paragraph, the emotions highlighted are innocent, playful childhood days, feeling of love and togetherness. So basically, what does the mother do here in the first and second paragraph? The first and the second paragraph are very pretty paragraph, and they are very easy paragraphs to understand. There is no nuclear science which is required to to understand these paragraphs. It's very simple. So here what happens is, the mother is going with the little children, and they are all going to the they are all went to paddling, right? So the cardboard shows that when the poet looks at the cardboard with the photograph of her mother, clearly in this paragraph, right, mother and her cousins, she recalls the past memories of her mother when her mother went to the beach with her two cousins during her childhood. The two cousins held on to the poet's mother hand because she was the eldest one, and the two younger cousins experienced a sense of security while paddling in the sea. Here the emotions highlighted are innocent, playful childhood days, feeling of love and togetherness. These are the important emotions which are highlighted here. Now all three stood still to smile. This is the paragraph. All three stood to smile through their hair. This is another paragraph. Okay, this is again, all three stood to smile through their hair at the uncle with the camera, a sweet face, my mother's face that was before I was born. Okay, so here in these three lines, the poet says the camera captured the moments when the poet's mother and her two cousins went paddling. They were smiling with tousled hair over their faces because of the breeze. The breeze had blown their hair, making them untidy, and uncle was clicking the photograph. The sweet face of the mother refers to the sweet face of her mother before the poet was born. Since her mother was 12 years old when the photograph was clicked, there is an innocence and freshness on her face. So basically in these three lines, what the poet is trying to say, that the camera captured the mother's moments when the poet was not born, okay, and the mother went paddling with the two cousins. They were all smiling at the camera with tousled hair, because there were tousled hair because of the breeze, and the breeze had blown their hair, making them untidy. Okay, the breeze had blown their hair by making them untidy, and uncle was there to click their photograph. The sweet face refers to the face of her mother before she was born. Okay, since her mother was 12 years old when the photograph was clicked, there is an innocence and freshness on her face. There is an innocence which can be seen, there is a freshness on the face which can be seen. And the sea which appears to have changed less, washed their terribly transient feet. These are the last line of the first paragraph. And the sea, which appears to have changed less, washed their terrible transient feet. These are the last line of the paragraph. Here, the poet highlights the eternal nature of the sea against the transient nature of humans. What does the poet do? The poet highlights the eternal nature. Eternal nature means the, mortal nature, ek tarah se, hai na? Mortal nature of the sea. Eternal nature means immortal, and transient nature means mortal nature of human life. The sea does not change much in contrast with the small tender feet of children which had outgrown fast. The human life is very short. This is what the poet is trying to explain. Wash their terribly transient feet. This line is very important. The human life is short-lived, as the footprints on a beach which are washed away with time refers to the transient temporary nature of the life which is bound to be changed. Now, transient feet is transferred epithet. Alright everybody, moving on. Some 20-30 years later, she'd laugh at the snapshot. See Betty and Dolly, she'd say, look how they dressed up for the beach. This is the next second paragraph. Okay, so here the mother was looking at the photograph and recalling the past memories of the sea holiday. She found that they all looked funny and different as they were very scantily dressed up. Scantily dressed up. So this was the mother's take on the photograph. The mother was very happy. She was laughing while looking at the cardboard. The sea holiday was her past. This is another line of the same paragraph. Mine is her laughter. The incident, now see, the incident of sea holiday and the laughter of her mother are a thing of past. Very important thing I am saying. When this line can be written everywhere in this poem. Okay. When the mother looked at the photograph, she was lost in her childhood and recalled the memories. But when the poet looked at her photograph, she is reminded of her mother's innocent laugh at the sight. Both the events have slipped into the past. Now, this is very important. Both rye with the labored ease of loss. Okay, this is another very important line. Both rye with the labored ease of loss. This means change, impermanence, transience, mortal is the way of life. Man has to make efforts to cope with the loss. Man has to make efforts to cope with the loss without being too much troubled. So, ये आपको easily आपको क्या करना पड़ता है? Move on करना पड़ता है अपनी life के साथ. ऐसा नहीं कि आप एक ही चीज को पकड़ के बैठ जाओ. With the passage of time, various incidents of life become past. We have to accept the harsh reality with ease and move on. This is the, there is one word, epistome, or you can say this is the, there is one word, I'm not remembering that word. This is the epitome, no. This is the I'm unable to get that word. Once I get that, I'll tell you. Now mothers, she has been dead nearly as many as years she has lived. Alright. She has been dead as many as years she has. Epistemology. This is the epistemology of life. Okay? Yeah, I got my word. This is the epistemology of life to, basically, this is the knowledge. This is the nature of life. Epistemology is basically nature. Epistemology is the nature. This is the epistemology of life, that it is transient. Okay, as the girl lived and other circumstance, there is nothing to say at all. It silences. This is another very important lines of the poem. Now she has been dead as nearly as she has lived, and of understand there is nothing to say. It's silence, silences. These are the last lines of the poem. Here, death is the ultimate reality. It is the epistemology of life to end. Okay, death is the ultimate reality. It is inevitable, and the humans are helpless. Only memories are left, and the loss become bearable with the passage of time. This circumstance refers to the death of her mother. Her mother was snatched by the cruel hands of death. She has no words to express her grief, agony, loss, and sense of pain. There is a strange silence as there is no one to share her feelings with. The three stanza depict, this is a very important thing. This three stanza, the first stanza depict the childhood, the second which is childhood which is innocent, the second one depict the youth, laughter, happiness and energy, and the third one depict the old age followed by the death. With this you are completed with the poem, the photograph, written beautifully by Shirley Toulson. We are done with the photograph. We have also done the portrait of a lady. You can go check it out in the description box. See you guys in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye bye.